Okay, and here we go. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Welcome to BWTM Sports. If you haven't already subscribed, please do hit the subscribe button. We really appreciate it. Round for Round Boxing Association with BWTM Sports. We soon will have some very interesting footage for you. Hopefully tonight we will have our first official round for round boxing interview with one or maybe two of the fighters who will be involved with the game, featured in the game. And also don't forget to check out Three Kings Boxing, www.threekingsboxing.com, and Round for Round Boxing, www.roundforroundboxing.com. So we've got that out of the way. Let's get talking. So the role of the boxing commentator in 2018. Let's look at it. Let's explore it. Let's talk about it. The role of the commentator. What has been the role of the commentator? What is the role of the commentator? In terms of radio, when you listen to the radio, you want blow-by-blow coverage. Basically, every punch that lands, every important moment that happens in the ring, and as clear as possible. That commentator is the eyes and ears. He is giving you the full experience, as if you were blindfolded. He's giving you the full experience of what is happening in that ring. And it is important, almost essential, that the boxing commentator gives you the most clearest definition of what is happening in the ring. It's almost like a blind person relying on their guide to lead them to whatever destination they need to get to. That's absolute trust, complete trust is in that individual or individuals or people or group of people to tell you what is going on. You know, there was a time where you could trust the commentator in what they were saying. If somebody was throwing a left jab, you could believe they were throwing a left jab. If somebody was controlling the fight, you could tell, you could believe they were controlling the fight. I did a video before and we talked about whether boxing was part of a WWE script. And I'm sorry, boxing fans, but boxing is now WWE. It is the World Wrestling Entertainment Organization. That's what it is. It is a spin-off of that. You have tables being thrown. You have chicken being thrown at people. You have people kicking off at press conferences. From the situation of Sugar Shane Mosley, where Mayorga went and touched Mosley's Mrs. Backside, to all sorts of crazy stuff happening in boxing that are unrelated to actually the fight itself. And like the latest antics with Billy Joe Saunders throwing chicken in Nando's, I mean, that was just a spin-off. It was like, I don't know if any of you have played the old PlayStation games of WWE, WWF, probably WWF at the time, Know Your Role and Shut Your Mouth. It was on PlayStation 2. And basically what would happen is you'd be building your character to get to WrestleMania. And during that time, you would have cutscenes where 1 minute you might be walking to the arena and somebody turns around and puts something over your head, like a table, throws a table at you, or you're walking to the arena and you get ambushed by somebody, or you're in the middle of your match and suddenly somebody comes out to the arena and interrupts your match and you lose the match. Sort of stuff like that. The only thing that's missing from boxing at the moment, at this minute in time, is people running down into the arena and jumping into the ring. But that's it. What we've got at the moment is people jumping in the ring straight after fights. So predictable. They jump into the ring and that's the way of promoting fight. Get in the person's face and promote a fight, which is something that's been done before. Back to the thing about the role of the commentator. For me, the role of the commentator has always been to promote the fight as to what it is. In 2018, we have a problem. What is happening now is that commentators, as far as I'm concerned, are reading off of scripts. Commentators are reading, not telling you exactly what's really going on in the fight. Rather they are repeating a dialogue, repeating a a narrative, and therefore what the narrative is. This person, for example, the narrative would be Tyson Fury, for example, his fight against Pianeta. The commentator said he was fighting at 40%. How does a commentator know he's fighting at 40%? And then and he's moving through the gears. And then the next minute, from a commentator, you hear in the dressing room the same thing being said by the trainers and the management. You see, you can't today. It can no longer be trusted. Hey, people. Yeah, boxing can no longer be. The commentators can no longer be trusted, and commentators' role is to educate the fighter, educate the people that are watching. You know, you already have a situation. Check this out. You have judges that can't be trusted to score correctly. You've got referees who can't be trusted to referee a fight properly. Either they're stopping a fight too soon, stopping a fight too late, or allowing other fighters unfair advantages. So that's the referee, the judges, and if you're in the UK, you have the referee. That's also the judge as well. And now you've got the commentators who can't tell you exact blow by blow coverage. They can't give you that. Now all those three things there, add that to the fact that you're paying per view. You're going to get paid pay-per-view. So you've got dodgy judges, dodgy referees. You know they're dodgy referees, but it's like you see them week in, week out. You know they're dodgy, but yet still you sit down and watch the fight, and you know they're dodgy. You know before they get on, you know they're dodgy. You know they've got a dodgy track record. The judges sit down week in, week out. You know they're dodgy, yet still you accept them because you just want to see the fight. Judges, referee, commentators. You know they're biased, whether it's their best mate that's boxing, so they're not going to speak against them. The gym mate, the A side, the network's fighter. All of these things. And then, on top of all that, you have to pay for it. You have to pay for it. A pay-per-view event. So, there's an example now. This situation where Tyson Fury, they said that he was only at 40%. So, you pay your hard-earned money, 100% of your money, to go and watch your hero, your idol, the guy that you like to see box at 40%. Let me get something right here. If I rolled up to the arena and said, you know what, I don't feel like paying 100% now because I'm not sure if I'm going to get 100% of a fight. I'm not sure if I'm going to get 100% Tyson Fury. So tell you what, I'll pay you 40%. I'll pay you 40%. And if I see 100% of that fighter, then I'll give you the extra 60%. No, they don't work, does it? That doesn't work. So you turn up, you've made your hard-earned money, you turn up to a fight to get 40%. And you should be happy with that. So when you do your pay-per-view events, you pay for your pay-per-view events. You're paying for commentators to lie to you, for judges to score a fight badly, for referees to intervene, either stop too early or too late. So the commentator's there what should the commentator's role be? I think in 2018 there needs to be a because there should be a rule by Ofcom, TV like kind of like a regulator. I think there should be a regulator in Ofcom, which then dictates how commentators should commentate. If I were to have a product and to sell it on television, like I said, let's say I sold a car. I was selling a Ferrari, and I claimed it was the fastest Ferrari. And I claimed that it had, it wouldn't cost much to maintain it. And I said it was below the price that it should be. So if I don't know, let's say I claimed it was 30 grand for the car or 130,000 for the car. I don't know. Let's say I said 130,000 for the car. And you roll up to the showroom and the car's got no engine and the gear stick's gone and yeah, there's one seat in the car. and I've sold that to you, I've said to you, that's it. That's a Ferrari. You're going to be asking me a question as to why. But for some reason, boxing commentators can sell us something that's not real. Sell us something based on a script. Sell us something that is not even like, I've seen fights. I've seen fights where guys who are supposedly the A-sided fighter are getting their ass whooped. They're getting their ass whooped. And then, but all I'm hearing is, you're only hearing about what the A-sided fighter is doing, even though the A-sided fighter is getting his ass whooped. He's just taking his time, you know, he'll get into it. And the only time the commentator gives credit is when the A-side fighter actually gets knocked out. That can't be right. That cannot be right. And what the problem is with that is people who are coming into the sport of boxing today are no longer being educated about what's going on in boxing. They're not being educated on what we're seeing in the fight. We're not getting truthful views. We're getting views based on projecting the next big fight. The commentator said like on Saturday night, you know, this is not the Tyson fought Vladimir Klitschko. This is not the Tyson Fury. His footwork's not the same way. He's carried excess baggage. You know, his body doesn't seem toned the same way. Oh, they're not going to say that. They're not going to say that because that affects pay-per-view numbers. If they're trying to sell a pay-per-view fight. So they've got to tell you he's the best ever. He's the best thing. Or selling the narrative that a fighter is an elite, world-class fighter, but they've never fought anybody in the top 10. They've never breached the top 20. They've never fought in the top 30. They're world-class. They are elite athletes, but they've never been in the elite level. This is what these commentators are saying. So, can I go to Frank Warren or can I go to BT Sports and turn up at BT Sports Tower and say, hey, listen, Tyson only boxed at 40%. I want 60% back of my money because I paid to see a man performing at 100%. I don't get it. It don't make any sense. It's bullshit, and I don't think it should be allowed. But anyway. Yes, Mr. McGregor. So, it shouldn't be allowed. It should not be allowed. It's unacceptable. And here's another thing. Let's talk about this Pianetta fight. Just for a second, I want to talk about it. This 40% thing. They mentioned about giving away a game plan. Now, for me, if you're trying to sell a pay-per-view event, for me, I would have gone out there, say, okay, I would have gone 4 or 5 rounds, did my stuff, got my rounds in about round 8 to 10. Between 8 and 10, or between 7 and 10, I would look to stop Pianetta impressively. So now, if you were to do the highlight reel of Tyson's last 3 fights, if you want to add the Klitschko fight, but they don't want to look back, they want to look forward. So the Safa Safiri fight and the Pianetta fight. Those are the 2 fights you're basing a pay-per-view off. Now, you've got to do highlight reels and that. Doesn't it look... You look at Deontay Wilder's highlight reels of all the string of knockouts he's had. The Stavern knockout was brutal. The Ortiz knockout was nice. Then you look at all the knockouts Deontay Wilder's had, and you're going to show that on a big screen to promote a fight. And look at Tyson Fury. Look at Tyson Fury. Look at the highlight reels you're going to see for that. Surely, you know, you say you're not 100%, yeah? Or you didn't box at 100%. Do you know what 100% is in 2018? You told us even back then when you fought Klitschko, it wasn't 100%. So what is 100%? What is 100%? Show us what 100% is. If in your whole career you've not fought 100%, what is 100%? And if that's 40%, how do you know that 60% is enough to beat the guy you're going to fight? I didn't see anything. If I'd seen, for example, in that fight against Pianetta, if I'd seen Tyson rock Pianetta and hurt him and then step off, then I said, oh, okay, he could have finished him off there. I've seen that. If I'd seen him hitting bam, bam with a combination and then just sit back getting boxed, I would have seen it. I said, okay, yeah, he's got the power. It's all under control. You can see he's working a few things. But even so, you don't work in a few things against a guy that's a total opposite to Deontay Wilder. Deontay Wilder is, 6'6" or 6'7". He is a athlete at 215 pounds. He's a devastating puncher. He's got a good jab. He's athletic. He's fast. He's thin-framed versus Pianetta, who's slow. I think Pianetta 6'5", 6'4", 6'5", plodding, one-paced, no punching power, no ambition, a journeyman. How are you keeping a game plan under wraps with a journeyman? I don't get it. What possibly can you show? And hey, I think if you do show how good you are, doesn't that sell a fight better? You've got people already talking about Tyson's not ready for this fight. So the excuses are already being made. Now, if Tyson had gone out there and put on a performance, a commanding performance, yeah, you won every round and all the rest of it. But if you'd shown us something to people lick their lips and say, yeah, he's got a chance here. It's all about a hope and very much a hope. And we hope he can do it. We hope he can do it. If he can get back to what he was against Klitschko. I don't know about that. There's a lot of hoping going on. Sometimes it's up to the boxers on the night. Eddie Hearn fight Chisora Dillian didn't look that good, but epic night. Do you know what happened to Peter Fury? How comes he doesn't come to show up to support Tyson? Have they fallen out over David Haything? I don't know. I don't know, and I don't ask that question. I don't know. It's none of my business personally, so I don't know. Peter's gone his way, and Tyson's gone his way. All I can say to this in that situation is what everyone's know well enough what Peter Fury stands for and what kind of a man Peter Fury is. That's why we do interviews. We do interviews to find out the mindset of a person. So if you put the mindset of what a Peter Fury is and philosophy, there's countless of hours of interviews of Peter Fury. If you put those interviews together of the mindset of what kind of man Peter Fury is, and then look at what's going on today, and then look at Peter Fury, you can come to your own conclusions what Peter probably is thinking. I mean, it doesn't take a rocket scientist to work out, but there you go. So the role of the commentator, I think, like I said, back to Ofcom. I think Ofcom, for the role of the commentator, this is what should happen. The role of the commentator should be to give blow-by-blow coverage of the fight. Of course, create the hype. Tell us a story. Tell us the stats of who the fighter last fought, and what was the winning records or the losing records or the percentage of knockouts, or take the narrative of giving us facts. Give us the facts of what is actually happening in the ring. Blow by blow coverage. That is what commentators should be, especially in pay-per-view fights. Blow by blow coverage. Blow by blow coverage and being honest, which means you stick to the script. The script being, tell us what is actually happening in that room. Don't tell us what your promoter wants you to say. Don't tell us what's going to make the fighter feel happy. Don't tell us what the network wants you to say. Tell us what is going inside the ring, because that is what you're being paid for as a commentator. That's what you're being paid for as a commentator. You're part of the event. You ultimately build the story. You can make a good fight a great fight in your commentary, or you can make an average fight really poor because of your commentary. It all depends on how you commentate. Many of the great fights, I think, are not given enough credit because of the great commentary in the background. Ian Dark, so many great commentators in the past. Reg Gutteridge, that fantastic moment where Tyson and Frank Bruno are fighting, and Bruno hurts Tyson. He's hurt Tyson. He's hurt Tyson. That whole thing. Get in there, Frank. All that sort of commentary. Those are iconic moments. When Frankie Randall dropped Julio Cesar Chavez for the first time in his career, and Chavez is down. Chavez is down for the first time in his career. You know, or even when one Marquez knocked out Pacquiao, Roy says, he's not going to get up, Jim. He's not going to get up. Or even George Foreman, when he knocked out Michael Mora. He's done it. He's become the heavyweight champion of the world again after so many years. Those things, those moments and commentary moments, you know, I remember once Ian Dart was commentating Lennox Lewis versus Shannon Briggs. Did a fantastic. It was commentating, and the way he built it together, he said something along the lines of, "It was round 4, round 5. Yeah, I think it was round 5. Lennox said, Lennox Lewis is a lion waiting in the long grass." So as he said that, it was like Lennox Lewis is waiting for the opportunity. And as he said that, not even 10 seconds later, Lennox landed a huge right hand that dropped Briggs to the canvas. 1, 2, bang. And he goes, oh, what a right hand. That is what people pay to listen to that stuff. That's what defines and makes a great commentary for great fights. A commentator that's passionate, a commentator that's telling you what's going on in the fights, a commentator that's why we love boxing. Not just about two guys fighting, the build-up, of course, the two fighters talking, the trash talking, you know, and when Hagler fought Hearns, you know, the commentary, when you're listening to that, it's turning you on through your ears, and then you're visually watching it. All of it is so great. Why do people like Michael Buffer? Why do people love Buffer? Because Buffer goes, let's get ready to rumble. When you hear that, it tingles, your whole back tingles, you know what that time is. You know, big event, you know what it is. Or, you know, when Jimmy Lennon says, it's showtime. You know, when you hear those things, it's big fight. That gets you in the mood, you know. Or when HBO used to do HBO Box in the beginning, you know, especially when you're from the UK and you're looking for America, and what they do the like Las Vegas strip. What they do first, they do the HBO build up, and they show all the old great fights. And what you hear in the background is all the commentary for all the big fights, just in snippets, and that gets you in the mood. And what next they show you is the Las Vegas Strip, or Atlantic City at night, or during the day. They're building it up. It depends what time they're building up things to give you the picture, and then the commentators there giving you the dialogue to what is going on between the two fighters. That is what the commentator's role is: to educate, to tell the viewers what's going on, how do they see the fight going, who's winning the fight in an honest and upfront manner, blow by blow coverage. That is what it is. That's what it is. But at the moment, you got WWE scripts and it's not on. And I haven't seen WWE in a while, but I can see probably the WWE commentary is far better than the boxing commentary. I go far to say the UFC commentary is better than the boxing commentary. It's got to change. The commentary's got to change in boxing. Let me hear what people are saying. Most paid commentators are promoting the needs of the employer. Social media should be used as social justice. Unfortunately, it is corrupt. It is corrupted by ignorance. Thank you for sharing this great topic, brother. I know. Thank you, mate. Are we going to get you as a commentator in round for round? We're working it, buddy. We're working it. We're working it. But I can assure you that we are beginning to get the big names. The legends of boxing are coming to BWTM Sports. And we know we're going to be getting them live. So we'll be able to talk to the big fight, all the big names, past and present, on BWTN Sports. You'll be able to ask your questions live. So make sure you subscribe to the channel because it's happening. I think we've got 2 or 3 interviews lined up today and over the weekend for sure. What going on? Are you going to the carnival? I don't know yet. I don't know. Big up to LDBC2, of course. Okay, like Bruce is nice to see you. Nice, of course. That would make sense. Your commentary is emotional. You need emotional commentary. You need people. The other day, people were commentating and were saying to me that I get emotional at the boxing. You should do. These are two fighters fighting. There needs to be some emotions. There needs to be emotions. And I'm going to do more commentary. I'm going to go back and do some old fights. And I'm going to do old fight nights as a thing to. I'm going to go to old fight nights. I'm going to pick a few fights that I loved watching, and I'm going to commentate on them. I don't know if I'm going to show the footage of it or not, but I'm definitely going to do old fights and commentate over them. I think that's what I want to do. Old fights, commentate radio style. So that's what I want to do. So at this point in time, I'm going to ask you, the people that subscribe to our channel and people that I want you to give me your fights that you'd like me to commentate on. And I'll do my best to pretend I've never seen those fights before. Check out some of the commentaries I've done before. I think I did Lennox Lewis versus Frank Bruno. I did De La Hoya versus Chavez. I love that fight so much. I love that fight. I'm probably going to do De La Hoya versus Vargas. Those are fights I remember. I want to do Holyfield versus Foreman, Holyfield versus Cooper, Burt Cooper versus Michael Moore is a great fight as well. There's quite a few fights I want to get out there and do. So let me know. Request your fights. Morales Barrera 1. Hamed versus Barrera. There are loads of fights I want to do. So maybe some fights I've not been like people don't talk about. I'm probably not going to go and do black and white videos. Sorry, I'm not sure if I can. Maybe some, if I have to, there's certain fights I probably will go back and do black and white videos, specific fighters. But I'm not going to go. Don't ask me to start going and doing things like Harry Greb, and that's not for me. I'm sorry, but you know, just bring some. I'm just using Harry Greb as an example, not just being personal. Good morning, Marlon's Corner. We'll go on, Marlon. When Pianella landed on Fury, the comments were never mentioning it. Well, I mentioned it when I commentated. What's good? Yeah, I'm good, Marlo. Wicked. Peace chat. Fight of the week on Round for Round, commentated on by you. Yeah, we could do it. You pick. You choose. You decide. You pick your fights. When I end this video, I want you to pick your fights. Pick the fights you'd like me to commentate on. And I'll every evening, instead of doing these live streams like this, we'll do commentary on old fights. So you can sit down and you can listen and you can relive fights and rewatch those fights afterwards. You can listen to the commentary, and after you listen to the commentary, you might think, yeah, I want to go and watch that fight. I think I did. I've done some commentary already on. I think I did commentary for Golovkin versus Jacobs. You're gonna have the alternative view on that. Joshua versus Parker. Dillian White versus. I've done quite a few of the commentary so far. You did. I had you as the commentator and BT on mute. Thank you so much. Appreciate that. Was a cracker. Yeah. So yeah, I think tonight we're gonna get Chop Chop Corley, and I think tonight we're gonna get Isaac Dogba. So we'll see. We'll see. All things happen at the moment. Some other new announcements coming to BWTM as well. Definitely things are happening behind the scenes to change your viewing experience on BWTM, and to bring you more. And like I said, like I promised you when we started this, it's all about bringing the world closer to you. So yeah, if they offered you a commentary spot at Sky or BT, would you take it? As one of the guys I interviewed, Reverend Bullwinkle, Bishop Bullwinkle, in fact, check him out. Bishop Bullwinkle, BWTM. Bishop Bullwinkle goes, hell to the no, no, no. No, why? See this? It's BWTM. BWTM. This guy, don't want BBC, BT, BWTM. You know what I mean? BWTM, that's what it's about. I ain't asking, and they ain't giving. So it's as simple as that. If it was as simple as that, then trust me, I would have replied a long time ago. But they ain't interested in people like me, and I ain't interested in people like them. So that's where it's at. So just keeping it absolutely 100% real. Got to keep it real, you know. So of course, it probably would be a dream job for somebody, but I think it would be an absolute oxymoron. I'm sitting here talking about the bias commentary, and then I'm going to go in there and do bias commentary. Clearly, if it was a case that, why is it, you look at one point how Box Nation used to be in their commentary, they were far more down the line. Now they've just followed the Sky Sports narrative to just be biased as well. Fair enough, I respect that. Yeah. So right. Also, I'm going to ask you guys that are watching the show, go to my YouTube channel, Ingram Jones. Get on there and subscribe to the channel, Ingram Jones. I need to get to 1,000 subscribers. I'm on 906 subscribers. So get over to Ingram Jones. A lot of different things on there. I do a show called Along the Coast, which is a look at going along the coast and meeting different people and bumping into different people, from people doing independent rap and hip hop to community stuff, to all sorts of stuff is on there. You'll find all sorts of wacky and wonderful things. I even got a live stream that I do every day on my FIFA at the moment, FIFA career mode. I'm struggling at the moment, but as you do. So it's just a different thing. It's not the BWTM stuff, of course. It's just me away from the camera doing, well, you know what I mean, not doing this stuff. So yeah, I just wanted to plug that as well. Yeah. Shout out to Three Kings Boxing. Shout out to Truth and Facts about a sports talk. 2K, the prodigy of boxing. Shout out to that as well. Shout out to Round for Round Boxing, Jamie Doherty, Malky Pablo, Alan Reedy. Shout out to those guys over there and the developers at Round for Round Boxing. I know you're doing a great job. I've seen some fantastic stuff which I can't reveal, but I'm just waiting. Get me that stuff. Get it over to me as soon as possible. People want to see, and I know that when we show that stuff to the people, when I show this stuff to the people, I know the people, the world are going to go, they're going to be licking their lips at it because it looks awesome. From what I've seen so far, people, and this is my honest hand of heart, I don't lie, I don't BS you, I'm telling you, the graphics that are on Round for Round Boxing literally blow Fight Night Champion out of the water. The graphics are unbelievable. Unbelievable. Oh, Alan, you're in the room. Shout out to my man, Alan, in the room. Great stuff. How you doing, my friend? I hope you're well. Yeah, so just keep pushing, guys. I know people can't wait. We're just going to keep, we know we've got, like I said, Chop Chop Corley we've got hopefully coming on tonight. We're going to try and get that organized. So a lot of work going on behind the scenes for BWTM to make sure that you guys get the great experience, and with more partnerships and more building, and this is going to be fantastic. All we need is these interviews to start flowing. It's going to be fantastic. Is Wilder going to be in it? Who knows? Who knows? By the way, if you haven't already seen the interview, check out our interview with Junior Jones. Junior Jones. We don't appreciate the legends in boxing. Junior Jones was one of the first men to beat Marco Antonio Barrera. He knocked out Marco Antonio Barrera. This is the same Marco Antonio Barrera that came back and beat Nassim Hamed. Remember Barrera? Yeah. Junior Jones put him to sleep. And check out, they had 2 fights. And go and check out when he fought Orlando Canizales. And he says, Junior Jones, in the interview, he wants to be a part of Round for Round Boxing. So I talked to Jamie about it last night. So check that out. Check that out. Thank you so much. I appreciate you so much, Alan. Alan Reedy is actually one of the head guys at Round for Round Boxing. So it's great to see when you all pop in and say hello. I really do appreciate it. So yeah. AJ or Fury? I don't know. I don't know. We do know that we've got some close connections with Fury, as you know. So we'll see. We'll see. People's stock rise or fall after a fight. You know, Joseph Parker's stock certainly has fallen since his fight to Dillian Whyte. It's interesting. And some of these guys afterwards, who knows? You know, some of these guys may not come on in the beginning of the game, but they may come on afterwards. You know, sometimes it's sometimes you can't get everybody all at once. Sometimes you have to wait. But there's some great guys in the game, absolutely phenomenal legends of the game. But again, check out the Junior Jones interview. You really need to listen to it, because Junior Jones will talk to you about yesterday's fighters. He talks about Golovkin, talks about Marvin Hagler and Thomas Hearns. Orlando Canizales is one of his top 5 of all time. Yep. And Junior Jones beat him. Junior Jones beat him. So you need to listen to Junior Jones. He talks about the old fighters and the new fighters. I talked to him about Lomachenko versus Pernell Whitaker. We talked about Golovkin versus Thomas Hearns and Marvin Hagler. We talked about Tyson Fury and Deontay Wilder. We talked about his career as well. So it's great. Respect, buddy. Back to it. And we'll tune in later tonight. Cheers, mate. Talk soon. Talk soon. Right. I've got to get out of here because I've got a meeting in about 5 minutes. And it's a BWTM meeting, which is I'm just so excited about it. I think we're going to do something that no other boxing channel has dared to do. We're going to do that. And we're excited about it. So, you know, we don't follow, we lead. See you soon. Don't forget to subscribe. This is BWTN Sports. And just a reminder, we are the official channel for Round for Round Boxing. Check it out.